Nicole Kidman has reportedly filed for divorce.
She begins softly, almost like she's speaking to herself. I stayed silent. Until now. For years, she carried the weight of someone else's story. A story that didn't belong to her, but lived in every quiet moment, every forced smile, every night she spent pretending that everything was fine. Silence became her survival. It was safer that way, safer to protect his image than to admit the truth that was slowly breaking her from within. And yet, something changed. The years went by. The headlines faded, but the ache, the unspoken truth, only grew heavier. Now, the woman who once smiled through every storm has stopped pretending. There's no more hiding behind rehearsed lines or red carpet grace. This time, it's her voice, raw, trembling, and unfiltered. Because some truths refuse to stay buried, some promises come back to haunt the ones who broke them. And as Nicole finally opens up, she's about to say the one thing Keith never expected to hear. From the outside, they looked untouchable, a power couple wrapped in designer elegance and red carpet smiles. Every photo told a story of love. Every interview painted a picture of unity. People wanted to believe in them, in the fairy tale, in the happily ever after. But behind the velvet ropes and flashing cameras was something else. There were long nights spent apart, silent dinners, glances that used to hold meaning now felt distant, rehearsed. Nicole gave up role, adjusted her life, stood by him through storms the public never even knew existed, because that's what love looked like to her, loyalty. But love, she learned, isn't always returned in the way it's given. And slowly, she started to disappear in her own story. The lights still shined, the applause still came, but behind the curtain, their world was changing. She wore the mask better than most, smiling for the world while quietly crumbling inside. And somewhere between fame and sacrifice, Nicole felt herself slipping into someone she no longer recognized. What she couldn't say then, she's ready to reveal now. Because there was one moment, quiet, almost invisible, when everything inside her shifted. And that's when the breaking began. The whispers started small, a strange look during an interview, a missed appearance, a nervous laugh that didn't match the question. Fans picked up on it first, the subtle shift in their body language, the way Nicole hesitated before answering anything about him. Then came the headline, "Trouble behind the scenes? Is Keith pushing Nicole away? Sources say all is not well?" At first, she ignored it. She had learned to tune out the noise, to stay quiet, to keep protecting him. But the noise got louder. Insiders began speaking. Not with names, but with enough detail to sting. One claimed she cried in her dressing room before a live event. Another hinted at ongoing challenges that weren't about work. Then came the leak. A voice memo, a late-night recording, a man's voice, Keith's voice, slurred, angry, and cold. Words that no one expected from someone who sang about love with such sweetness. "I'm not the one ruining this." She is. The leak went viral. Fans were shocked. Comment sections turned brutal. Still, Nicole stayed silent. Still, she shielded him. But behind the scenes, everything was boiling over. There are only so many times you can bite your tongue. Only so many nights you can cry into your pillow and tell yourself it'll pass. She had protected him for years, but now she couldn't protect him anymore. It wasn't planned. Just a quiet sit-down, a soft-lit room, no flash, no drama. But the moment Nicole opened her mouth, the world stopped. She wasn't there to accuse. She wasn't there for headlines. She was there to finally tell her truth. She spoke slowly, carefully, as if each word carried weight she'd been holding for years. There had been distance, she admitted. Long before the rumors, long before the questions, the warmth between them had begun to fade. She tried everything, counseling, space, closeness. Nothing worked. He wasn't present, not in the way she needed. And then she said the word no one expected, addiction. She had covered for him, explained away the mood swings, the outbursts, the disappearances. But behind the smiles, she was exhausted. She'd stay up late, counting the hours until he came home. Sometime, he didn't. She never spoke about the nights she cried alone, or how many times she rehearsed leaving, and then chose to stay. "The family," she said, "for the version of us I kept hoping would return." Her voice cracked, just once, but it was enough to break the illusion for good. She hadn't come to ruin him. She had come to release herself. And then, a pause, eyes lowered, voice barely a whisper. He broke more than promises. The interview dropped like a stone in still water. And the ripples were immediate. Social media exploded. Some fans defended him. Others were stunned into silence. But most were heartbroken. People who had idolized their love story now found themselves questioning every moment. Every song, every smile, every red carpet kiss. Was it real? Or just a performance? The headlines didn't hold back. Nicole breaks her silence. Keith's secrets no longer hidden. America's sweetheart couple shattered. Then came the whispers about family. Was this why she had stopped mentioning his name in interviews? Was there truth to the rumors about late-night fights and long separations? A source close to Keith finally spoke. "Keith's been spiraling for a while," they said quietly. She just couldn't keep cleaning up the mess anymore. It wasn't cruel. It was real. And Nicole, she vanished. No public statement, no appearances, not even a post, just silence. As if the act of telling her truth took everything she had left. She never meant for it to become public. Not like this. Her words weren't spoken with fire. They came out quiet, measured, like someone who had been rehearsing the truth for years but never found the right time. Nicole said she stayed because she believed in him, because there were still moments, however brief, when she saw the man she fell in love with. She waited. Through the silence, through the broken promises, through the loneliness that crept in even when he was sitting right next to her. "I thought if I just held on a little longer," she said, "he'd come back to me." She didn't share everything. Some memories she still kept close. Some pain doesn't belong to the world, but she spoke enough to show the truth. She wasn't perfect. Neither was he, but the weight of pretending, that had become unbearable. This wasn't about revenge. It never was. It was about release, letting go of a story that had held her hostage far too long. And then she looked up. Not angry, not bitter, just tired. This was never to hurt him. But I couldn't carry it anymore. Sometimes, pain doesn't shout. It just sits quietly, waiting for someone to understand. If you've ever held back the truth to protect someone, you know that silence can be louder than words. It can weigh on your chest every day until you forget what it felt like to breathe freely. But letting go doesn't mean betrayal. It means release. It means saying, "I matter too." So if you've ever stayed quiet for love, you're not alone.